Top of the morning, my posse for the gathering of the Griots. What's up? It's your girl Asada. So happy that you're here with us again on another dope Tuesday. And of course, we have a great show today with another great Black writer who's rocking the poetry scene, this time on the female level. But let's first pay homage to the female solution because without it, we wouldn't even be here. Thanks, Naima. Let's check it out so you can learn about it too.
Women have the power to transform this world. We can end crime and violence if we all agree to do one thing: share. Let's share our wisdom, share our time, share our talents, share our finances, but most of all, let's share our love. This is the female solution.
All right, we're back and ready to rock. You're seeing your girl Asada once again on Gathering of the Griots, and today we have a great guest. She did a great book and is going to share the poetry, Knowetry of Chicago and more. Let me bring to the stage my girl Adrienne Plummer. How are you, darling?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I'm so happy to have you here today, girl. So happy to really learn. Y'all, when I heard her name, I was like, why is that familiar? It was familiar because her daughter has been in our book fair. And I was like, when I saw one of the pictures, I was like, that's that girl that was in the book fair. And then I was like, Giovanna Plummer, Adrienne Plummer. Duh. So I'm so happy to see that. You know, it's nice when we can influence our daughters, whether we realize it or not. I mean, who was a writer first, you or her?
Probably me. I was a writer since I was 9 years old, and
Clearly, okay.
yeah, and I got a library card at 9. I took out my first book. I did a book report, and once I finished reading it, I got applause, and so that's what inspired me to write. So in college, I was an English major, and I joined the school newspaper, the school poetry clubs. And I think at 50-ish, I started writing poetry all the time. And I recently joined Poet organization, Black ISIS organization.
Well, you're going too fast. I know. Look, I got so many questions. Wait, you giving me up. No, so I just don't want you to give it up too early. I want to kind of just deal with a little bit your background, because when we get into, your book and its essence, and this is her book, guys, so you can see the phenomenal essence of it. Look at this. Shy Brown Girl, the Shy Brown Girl. Now, when I saw that, I thought that was great because you got shy, of course, Chicago. But then I was like, the Shy Brown Girl, like the play on being shy.
Yes, so, it is.
So we picked it up, girl. You did a good job. We picked it up. So talk a little bit about the book and your background and why you did it. Are you from Chicago?
I am. I am from Chicago. I was born in Melrose Park, but at 3, we moved to Chicago, and I grew up on the south side of Chicago, and probably from reading Becoming, it inspired me to write my own book about growing up on the south side of Chicago. And I am a dark brown skinned woman. So growing up, people always recognize my color. That was the first thing they always said. So that's why that's the title of the book. I was that shy, quiet brown girl. And so my daughter Giovanna was like, well, why not do a play on words and change shy to CHI? And then with the publishing company, I wanted some of the letters brown, and then I wanted some of the letters pink because I'm a breast cancer survivor as well. And that's why I'm dressed in my pink suit. And then I wanted to highlight downtown Chicago, down the street from the Chicago Theater. So, and the skyline is kind of in the background.
Girl, you got it all in there, girl. Like this, you got all the messages right there. And I think that choice of title was great because, you know, that shy brown girl. Tell Giovanna, big props on that. Big props on that. Big time. So now growing up in Chicago, what was significant to you? What was important about that reality for you?
I believe it was my mother. She and my father divorced in '76, and that was uncommon for women. She got up and went to work every morning. So I saw resilience in my mother. She had her little Be Grateful song playing in the morning. She got us up. And my grandfather passed too in '76. So she showed us how to take the bus and come home. I would have to prepare dinner. We would have chores. We have to do our homework. Don't let anybody in the house. Don't answer the phone. And I was in 6th or 7th grade, and my sister, she was 3.5 years younger. So we were responsible at a young age. And I think as Black women, this is how you train your daughters to one day run their own houses. And when my mother was 10, she and her brothers would go to their grandmother's store. They would get ingredients for maybe a cake. And she learned how to make cakes at the age of 10. And I remember every Sunday she would make us a cake. And then when my kids were growing up, at their high school, they had a fall festival. She would bake cakes for that. She would bake cakes for relatives and friends for holidays and birthdays, for my sister's co-workers. And then when I had potlucks, she would bake cakes for me as well. And one time we sold at the Bud Billiken Parade. And this is a younger picture of her when she was like 19.
Go ahead, Mom. Look at Mom.
Yeah, that's Mom.
Mom's looking good. Yes. I love this energy because when I was kind of putting it pictures together, I said, I know there's a connection. I knew that was your mom, just looking at the vibe and how we used to carry ourselves. But then I saw here, you're at a walk, Alzheimer's walk. Now, what is the relationship to that? And because I know she then developed Alzheimer's at some point. Is that correct?
She did, and my grandmother before her had Alzheimer's, and she actually took care of her until she got too sick. And then so it may be a genetic thing. And then some other relatives said their elderly parents developed dementia. My stepfather got it too. So like a year prior in 2023, me and my children started coming to their house. We would do her hair. We brought them snacks. We would clean up the house a little bit. And I was saying to my children, we might need to come visit her more because she's older now. But she was like the matriarch. She took care of everybody, all your kids, all your family. She fed you. She did your hair. She brought you clothes. Like, she was our rock. And so as she was getting older, things started changing for her. And I noticed that. And so I'm just glad we had that time to spend with her. And she liked getting her hair done because that's something she always did. Every 3 weeks, she would get her hair done. And we did the Mother's Day brunch at Apostolic. Her hair would be done. We would dress up. We would go to church on Mother's Day and Easter. So looking well-groomed was a part of who she was. But as she got older and she developed dementia, she forgot those type of things. And so we decided we'll help her out. And so I think we did the walk because we wanted to post on Facebook that it's important for people to talk about elderly people. Visit your elderly people. Don't forget about them.
Sure, definitely. I love the legacy that I'm hearing in terms of you all being there for each other, because you can even hear it with your mother's mother, right? We have a comment here that says, hi, shy girl. It says, any relation to author Marion Plummer?
Yes, are you related? She's my mother-in-law. She's my mother-in-law. My husband was her son. Yes.
Wow. Look at that. Wow. Look at that.
She's a cancer survivor as well. And she's very resilient as well, too. So,
wow. Yeah. Well, let's get into sort of, because with your title that I have up there, it literally says poet and activist, right? Let me move this comment so I could just show you. Now, the activist part comes from the fact that you've mentioned it a couple of times. You said you're a cancer survivor. Now, talk a little bit about that. When was that in your life? When did that happen?
That was May 2015. I knew a year prior because I felt a lump when I did a self-examination.
Okay.
So I went to the doctor. I told them. So they did the mammogram and they did a ultrasound and then they did a biopsy. That's where they take a little piece and they sent it to the lab. And then they called me a week or maybe a couple of days later to tell me I needed to come in. And then I came in and an older Black lady, she told me to sit down and she let me know I had breast cancer. So it was devastating, of course, when I heard it, but I had already known. So I was afraid for my children and they decided, let's be proactive. In June, you're going to have this surgery. We're going to remove the tumor. We're going to remove the breast. And then they removed some lymph nodes. They sent those to the lab. And then in September, I had to have another operation where they it had spread to some of my lymph nodes. So they removed 11 lymph nodes in September. And then in October of 2015, I started chemo, and I did chemo for about 4 months. And the first time afterwards, I was in a salon and my hair all fell out. And then I think we did our first Making Strides breast cancer walk at that time, and I didn't have hair. And then in February of 2016, I did radiation every day for 5 weeks. And then October of 2016, I had reconstructive surgery.
Wow.
And they took the fat from my abdomen and they created a new right breast.
Oh, my girl, you giving us the rundown, girl. This is for real. Look, if y'all want to question what the sister been through, like look, 2015 and 16 was no joke.
Yeah, it was. And then I still managed to after the surgeries, of course, I had to take a couple of weeks off from work. I was in healthcare. I worked in a pharmacy. But then, I would come back to work. I think after I had a chemo on a Friday and the weekend to rest. And then on Monday, I was back at work.
Wow.
And then with radiation, I would go in the morning for radiation, then come to work in the afternoon because it kept me motivated. If I went home, I would be depressed.
Yeah.
Because my kids were away at school. So.
And you were by yourself.
I was by myself.
It's nothing like being ill by yourself. That ain't cute at all.
Yes, because my husband passed in 97, so he wasn't there. And
I see.
Yeah. So
wow, you really been through it. Well, look at these images. I mean, you then became an advocate, it looks like, for breast cancer awareness. Talk a little bit about these images and their relationship to your supporting of handling breast cancer.
Okay. The picture on the left is a Juneteenth event at the Sabo, and the Making Strides chair was there. So me and my oldest daughter, we decided to take a picture in the chair. And then on the right side was this year currently. This is at the finish line of the walk. It was so hectic because it was hot that day.
Okay.
And then so many employees from CTA came out and walked. Like
wow.
They extended the walk this year. It's around Soldier Field, but it was a 5K and then we felt it. So
nice. You felt it, honey. But you look like you had a good time. Let me show y'all something. Let me show y'all how she's rolling. Look at this real quick. Because I said, oh, look at the vibe here. Check it out.
Oh, yeah. That is the 360 cam. And me and my daughter and my youngest daughter, she was there too. She came later. We're wearing bedazzled socks. One of the poet members, her daughter she calls them junkie socks. So mine are pink and they have little, bedazzled little things on them. And a lot of people had that this year. It was just trending. I'm like, oh, wow. So
go ahead. Y'all doing your thing. I do love this. Now, let me ask a question. Do you find that your poetry has taken on some of this viewpoint based on your experience with breast cancer? Like, do you do any poetry about the experience?
I do have a poem called "Kicking Breast Cancer's Butt," and
Ooh.
yeah, it's a chronological order of the events of my journey.
Wow.
It talks about the chemo. It talks about the losing your hair. It talks about the radiation, and it ends with the Making Strides walk. And I thank my family for being there for me.
Nice.
Walking with me every year. It's been 10
Yeah.
years. So
Wow.
yes,
You're right, because you said 2015. So
yes,
wow, it's been 10 years. And so you're cancer free, eh?
yes, that's what they're saying. And
Nice, nice.
I volunteer for Immerment Angels. I had a
Okay.
mentee who mentored me during my journey, and then I in turn mentored someone. And this past October, I was at Stroger's Hospital representing Immerment Angels, and I got some survivors and thrivers to sign up, to be mentors or to be menteed. Yeah, so
Nice. I
it's
love that. Okay.
yes,
This look,
we
the fact that you've stayed active with it just
well,
says volumes about just who you
yeah,
are as a woman, to make a choice to first of all, poetry is a thing. It takes a level of creativity that
yeah.
everybody doesn't have, right? And
Okay,
I want to go back to, you talked about your presence at Fisk, right? Because
okay.
you said you went to school at Fisk, and you were English major, were you?
I was.
Okay, okay.
Yes,
Now
yes.
we have a lovely picture here
Okay.
of, hold on, not, this is a lovely picture, but I want to show another one real quick.
Oh,
Look at this. Watch this one. Look at this one. Who is this to you? This is, of course, one of your supporters, but
oh,
she's relevant because what experience did you have in life with this lovely lady and her
um,
name?
oh. Are you talking about the picture of Danielle Filey? She's from Atlanta. She's a Toastmaster. She
That's
was one
right
of my
there.
first customers. We lived
Wow.
in the same dorm, and we had classes together. I think we actually
Nice.
double dated, and we saw
Mm.
Nightmare on Elm Street. I couldn't stay because I'm too scary. But she in college we were both quiet and shy. But now
Okay.
she does Toastmaster, and now I do spoken word. So it's sort of
Wow.
ironic.
So yeah, but you, that right, because y'all are both anti, you're not shy anymore. You up on a
Yeah.
doggone stage. That's
Yes.
awesome. But I'm glad
Yes.
she was one of your supporters. But you and Fisk, I mean, it's very, I have a picture here. I said, there you go, representing
Yes.
that Fisk, baby, and doing that.
Yes.
Now, you came out in what year?
1990.
Okay, cool. But it was
Yes.
what laid your foundation for writing. Is that correct?
I would say some of my teachers were activists, and I
Mm,
remember Dr. Collins. He was all about being on time, being professional, and Black excellence. He was just awesome. And then I actually interviewed a SGA president of TSU when I was a part of FIS Forum, the school newspaper. They sent me out to do the interview, and I never did an interview in my life. And then I represented the poetry club as Miss Fitzgerald at our homecoming in 1989. So they were like, "Oh, you like wearing dresses? You can represent the group." And it just seems like I'm pushed into momentums at times. And even with this poetry group, you just have to be ready, I suppose. And being a shy
mm.
person, it's like, no, don't pick me. But
Ah,
once you're there, it's celebrated.
no
So
doubt about it. I mean, it's, look, you ain't nothing but being about the poetry when you're rocking and rolling. Now, this is a group that this is a poetry group that you roll with, right?
yes, yes.
And then talk a little bit about your involvement with them.
My Giovanna actually in high school, she became a member of POET, and it stands for People of Extraordinary Talent. She became a member
Mm,
of that, and we
okay.
went to some of her events. And then I think I was the Harold Washington Library has a poetry festival, and I've been doing their open mic for the past 4 or 5 years. And so this year, or it might have been last April, Black Ice came out. And so after I did my poem, he introduced himself, he brought a book, and he told me to come out and be a part of his organization. And he's very charismatic and very outspoken. And, I was in awe, like, but, I wrote the book. I celebrate poetry, and I wrote it because I want to give young women and young girls a voice, Black and brown women. I want you to know that you're seen, you're heard, you're respected, and speak up and speak out. So it helps me when I write, and it helps me when I do poetry, when I do spoken word. It helps you be seen, because I think, going back to being a dark brown woman, sometimes you're invisible to people because you don't have the wavy hair, and or whatever is deemed beautiful. You don't always feel that way, but you should celebrate whatever God gave you, whatever your size is, whatever color skin, your hair texture. I used to come home crying to my mother, and she would have to tell me to brush it off, and she would have to keep encouraging me. And now I have to do that for myself. So
right.
yeah.
We got another comment here. My girl Naima Latif said, I love that acronym POET, people of extraordinary talent.
Yes.
No question about it. Yeah, the brother Black Ice that you mentioned, and I think he mentioned to you that they actually performed at our book fair. So I love that you keep bumping into people that's in our book fair world already. I'm like, okay, we love that. Okay, and then we have another picture here. Now, what was this event?
Now, this event, Diana, the lady in the front standing next to Black Ice, she's over this. This was a social justice event. I think it was in Little Village. She has a Chicago urban retreat. They do spoken word, they do art, and it's a inclusive type of event. She's going to create something where we have like a commercial space where we can sell our products. And so we, at this event, I was a vendor. So I had a table set up. I was selling my book, and it was other vendors there as well. And then we, as the poets, we did some spoken word as well.
So, nice. I love that. Go ahead, y'all. Get representing those poets of extraordinary talent, people of extraordinary talent.
Yes.
I love that to the max. Now, before we go to commercial break, I would love for you to recite one of your poems.
Okay. So the title of this poem is Chicago. And it says, it's my kind of town, Chicago is. Winter so cold, a sheet of snow bliss. Better wear your big coat, shoot. Make that some more, like a hat, glove, scarf, and boots. And don't forget your long johns, too. The commute to work is sometimes hopeless. Listen to your car radio, laughter relieves the stress. Mornings with Steve Harvey on V103. Sip your coffee or tea. Oh no, you made a mess. Spill liquid on your new dress. Now it's time to go, move in a bumper to bumper flow. Soon as you go, time to break. Tomorrow you'll take the L, for heaven's sake. Give your nerves a break. The L on the Dan Ryan is a faster commute, but you gotta watch so brother man don't steal your loot. You got the homeless, panhandlers, boys selling wow. Oh, watch out for the lady, stroller, and baby and another child. You have pastors preaching and a young woman screeching about what she is going to do. No, that conversation doesn't involve you. Then there is summertime. Yes, summertime shy. It's always so fly. There are so many festivals. Food Truck Festival, Taste of Chicago, Bantu Fest, African Fest, just to name a few. Visit the Willis Tower for a panoramic view. Ride in a boat on Navy Pier. Watch the planes in the air at the Air and Water Show. Visit the museums to remain in the know. We have the Art Institute, the Field Museum, the Museum of Science and Industry too. Just so you know, our downtown is called the Loop. We have baseball crosstown rivalries between Chicago Cubs and the White Sox. We have the Chicago Fire, our soccer team. Our basketball team, Chicago Sky, Chicago Bulls, they wear jerseys and long shorts so supreme. We have the Blackhawks bring us hockey and Chicago Bears football players so strong and cocky. Let's not forget Chicago politics. Chicago voters don't like dirty tricks. We'll vote you in, then vote you out quick. Better keep them happy. Never was a moment more sweet and sappy when Obama brought Chicago a win. He was the first black president. It was late after dark when he and his family came to Grant Park. So many cheering fans that were in the stands, chanting, "Yes, we can! Yes, we can!" With only one glance, the fans knew Obama had that hometown charm. He learned it from our late Mayor Harold Washington, and that's that piece.
Wow. If you don't know Chicago, you now know. And if you do know Chicago, you was picturing that girl on the train bugging out. You said, "It's not my business." I was rolling there. And then you said, "We will vote you in and we will vote you out quick." That is so true. Yeah, this definitely captured Chicago. I love it because, I always say Chicagoans are very nationalistic when it comes to Chicago. Like Chicagoans love Chicago, and just about anybody you meet, I don't care if it's an Uber driver or you in the grocery store, people be from Chicago. It's not like when you're in Atlanta and you ask somebody where they from, they be from somewhere else. I'm from Virginia, I'm from New York, whatever. But Chicago, no, baby. This I don't know why it don't get the publicity it should, but this a black city.
It is.
It's a black city, baby, because black people here have mansions, they have gardens, they have radio shows, galleries, restaurants. Like you really do see the power of black people in this city. It never gets talked about, of course. People always talk about the negative things about Chicago. So when people come here, they be like thinking, "Oh, did you see that violence?" I be like, "Girl, I don't never see no violence where I live. I live by the water. I live by Lake Michigan, girl. You crazy?" But no, there's so much here. Museums and theaters. And, I mean, so it's just a wonderful city, but you really captured it in that poem for sure. And so if you don't know, now you know for sure. So I'm just so happy that you did that. And what did Black Ice hear you recite when he decided to tell you to come and be a part of his crew?
It was that poem. It was that poem.
Wow.
I read
Makes
that
sense.
poem. Yeah. It
Makes
was like
sense.
That's dope. Yeah.
Cool. Now I want to show this because you take it a step further. You didn't just write the book, but there are events that represent even your, look at you on the flyer. So are these events that you created or that you just performed at? Talk a little bit about these.
Okay, the event on the left is a virtual radio show called Intimate Conversations. It's Black Ice inspired. He created the radio show and the poet group 15 years ago when his son passed from cancer. And so I think this one was about breast cancer. So he did come on our show at the end. And we had a poet, and she was a breast cancer survivor as well. And these are my hosts, Lady Crucible and poetress Madam X. They're also a part of the poet group. And then the flyer on the right, Mahogany's Cafe. The owner her first name is Regina. She said that she wanted to create a space like Love Jones with Lorenz Tate and Nia Long, where they went to a space that had musicians and poets and creative writers. So she wants a space for us to come and actually do spoken word. And that day, it was this past weekend. Giovanna went as well. There was a band there. There was food. There was an audience, and people from the audience came up and did their poetry. And it was a good time, a good vibe. So I'm glad
Nice.
to be a part of it.
Yes, you doing the doggone thing. You're not just see, the thing is, you're not just sitting there with the book and hoping that it sells and this and that. I mean, we make books, we write books, so yes, we want them to sell, but you got to get it living. You got to get that thing living so that people can experience it. So let's take a quick commercial break. You guys don't go nowhere. We'll be right back after these messages to experience a little bit more of my girl Adrienne Plummer. What? Because she got some more poetry for ya and some more knowledge about Chicago. So we'll be right back after these messages.
Soulful Chicago Black History Book Fair.
Hey family, this is Charles Humphrey of MCH Publishing, and I'm here with Ashada, and we at the Soulful Chicago Book what?
This is the Soulful Chicago Black History Book Fair, slamming.
We getting down in Hyde Park. Just run it down, my sister. Just tell us, for the people, a little bit about what we're doing here today and why.
You know, this is the Soulful Chicago Black History Book Fair, and this month is very important. I feel like we don't give it the type of recognition that it needs, but beyond that, I do all things literary, and we have so many ancestors that have taken a tradition of writing and done great things. Well, we have those of us that are carrying on that tradition, and nobody knows about them until now. So the Soulful Chicago Black History Book Fair is allowing us to tell our stories according to ourselves for our own benefit. And it's just beautiful. I mean, she could have been here today if you wasn't here. But if you were, it's been amazing. People came in consistently, children, and we have children's authors. We have nonfiction authors. We have fiction authors. This is really good. And it's about taking our own power in our own hands and doing what we do on the literary tip, though.
Right.
I got to work, but I can't help it. Everything going to school. Not just about bring my African shit like this. Bring it the African shit.
All right, there we have it. It's coming up, y'all. Y'all see that down there, February 15th. We will be rocking and rolling at Little Black Pearl. If you want more information, or if you're an author and you want to register, just go to the website you see at the bottom, soulfulchicagobookfair.com, and there's an author submission button you press, and go ahead and register because they have already started to do so. And I think it's a discount if you go ahead and secure your space the same week that you got accepted. So without further ado, we are going to bring back my girl, Adrienne Plummer. What's up, my darling? So happy that you're here. That's right. If you are not in the know, be in the know. We're dealing with Adrienne Plummer, who is a poet, but she's also an activist because she stands for something more than just, I want to rhyme. No, she stands for sort of this, identifying as a Chicago woman, strong Black women, coming from strong Black women who support family. I can hear that, right? But then your survival of breast cancer and really standing up for that and representing that. So I want to find out a little bit more about the future of you and poetry. What are some of the things you want to achieve with your poetry going forward?
I want to do a book about healing, because I think we as Black people, Black women, Black men, we need healing. We go through a lot of trauma, slavery, Jim Crow, segregation. All those things were traumatic for all of us. And many of us in Chicago, our relatives migrated from the South, like mine came from Cary, Mississippi, Tennessee, Alabama, just places in the South. And so we made a home for ourselves in Bronzeville with music, with poetry, with dressing nice back in the day, with art, because there's some art galleries in Chicago as well.
Yes.
But and storytelling is a tradition, an African tradition that carried on with us. And my grandmother, when I was in the kitchen with her, we would be making breakfast. She would tell me stories of Mississippi, of living on a farm. Her mother had took care of the house. She cooked, she sewed, and she was the one who started. When they moved to Chicago, she opened a store in her house, and so it was a need for it in Morgan Park because there weren't any grocery stores or they were so far, and she was within walking distance. So she had a store, and then my grandmother got a license to do hair. She would do hair out of her house, and then my mother, she was a baker. And so, at 10 years old, learning how to bake, she baked cookies, cupcakes, cakes, pies, all of that. She did sell them to friends, relatives for birthdays, holidays. We did pop-ups, potlucks, and then she was just always baking. So these three are who inspired me to be a strong Black woman. And he told me you got to speak up. You
Hey, do it. Speak up. And not only that, we talking about them being entrepreneurs, but look at you right here. It's like you have something called the Sunflower Shop, and you have these products that people can, relax with and relate to, and people could get them in t-shirts, I think. So talk a little bit about the evolution of the Sunflower Shop. Like, what made you create this brand?
What made me create this brand was I love sunflowers. Like, the brown represents our skin color, all shades, the melanin we have. And then the yellow represents the sun, sunshine, and joy, the nourishment for our skin. And it's about happiness and positivity and hope and resilience. And with this blanket, you could throw it on while reading my book, while sipping tea, while you could light the candle. And play some soft music. I remember growing up watching Calgon commercials, and she was a wife, she was a mother, she had the kids, and she was busy all day. But then she would take a moment and take a bubble bath. And so I imagine you can put the candles around your bathtub. You can play your songs on your Pandora, and have some champagne, and maybe have my book or any book. Just, you have a busy, hectic.
She laying it out for y'all. Look, she laying it out, the whole picture.
Yeah.
Get those things from the Sunflower Shop. Now, in the Sunflower Shop, you have the throw blanket, you have candles. What are the other products that are there?
The tote bag, you have the book, the tumbler is something you could take on the go with you for a nice beverage. So just a variety of things.
Yeah, you guys, there's the website at the bottom, the sunflowershop.org. But look at the shop. Make sure you get that spelling the way it needs to be now. The sunflowershop.org right there at the bottom. So definitely write that down. Go take a visit. I love that, it's like another arm of your mentality, your ideology, the celebration of our people. And so you have these products for them. And just so y'all can see them again and know, the Sunflower Shop, so you're going to see that brand all over the place. So just get ready for those things. And I think your book is on that website too, correct?
The book is on the website, and I also have a blog. And on the blog, I wrote a couple of articles, one about the cake lady, one about exercising. It's for women 50 and older.
Okay.
I kind of want people maybe to put in their emails so I can reach out to them, and they can respond to the blog. So it's another avenue for writing. So it's on there as well.
Nice. I want to show this image because this sort of has a variety of the things that are relative to what you do. And you guys, I told you her daughter was at my event, and I'm like, now I see her book. I know that pink and purple book. So talk a little bit about the total products that we're looking at. I see your book. Giovanna's book is up there. There's some shirts. Talk a little bit about the total, because the shop is stuff to get there that is part of her entire universe. Go ahead and explain that.
Okay, so there is my book, The Shy Brown Girl. There is Giovanna's book, Afrofest, and then she also has CDs in the bag. She is also a rapper. And then she does customized t-shirts. This pink one is the 92% that voted for Kamala. Then the gray shirt is a picture of Kamala and a phrase about Kamala. And then the black shirt has a sun on it, our old logo. But she creates shirts for Juneteenth, and they usually have like some type of African slogan and an African picture.
Nice.
And yeah.
Okay. What is Giovanna's book about? Because she's representing, I have a daughter who has a book, and it's something when the mom knows how to write a book and make a book, their daughter can make a book. So what is her book about as well?
Her book is about a Afro Fest, a hair show, and it's one where the lady, I believe she works at or she owns a hair salon. She goes through a breakup, and but in the end, she meets someone else, and she does put on a hair show where you see braids, wigs, weaves, and afros and locks and all types of. It's a celebration of Black hair, and she also has
so it's
written.
Fiction.
It's
so
fiction.
It sounds like a fiction book.
Yes, it's fiction, and then she also did Mo's Mix and Mo's Queendom. That's also about a Black woman who has a skincare line. So it's about Giovanna lost her hair when she first went to college. She took her braids out, and then she suffers from alopecia, like some some Black women do. Yeah. So she, for a while, she was wearing scarves, and that's what inspired her to write this book, because Mo loses her hair, and she talks about the journey of growing it back. And now Giovanna rocks pink hair, blonde hair, just different colors. She's creative with her hair now.
Yeah, I remember her vibe. I was like, oh, go ahead with your colorful self. I thought I was colorful, but I think what I think you can correlate is her focusing on hair, but then there's these stories of you all doing the hair of your mother, doing that, like there's these Black women in hair, and that's not a small thing for us. It is a thing just to be well groomed. You talked about that a little bit before, and so I love how you and your daughter have taken your life experiences and turned them into something, whether it was breast cancer, whether it was alopecia, whether like you found a creative way to demonstrate the opposite of whatever the challenge is. And you've done that with some of your work. So I'm very, very, I don't want to say I'm proud of you, but I think the audience, you want to take notice of that, because you can sit and wallow in the mire and be sad and a victim, or you could get up and do something positive. I want to show these guys, because there's some people who out there supporting your work. I see they got the book, they got the doggone logo. What were these supporters? What was their focus? Why did they buy your books? Did you get a chance to talk to them?
The one on the left, he is a fellow alum from Purcell Julian. He graduated in 83. I graduated in 85. We were both at the DeSable Juneteenth. And he happened to be going past. And then he's like president of the alumni. He puts on all the alumni things for Julian. So he, I had my book on me, and I asked would he buy it. And he was like, sure. And so he did buy it to support. And then this is another event. This is an EAT event. And they came to, patronize the vendors. I was there with my son, and I had a table, and they decided to, I think she brought a tote bag and she brought a book.
I see.
So, yes.
No doubt about it. Yeah, I think it's, the book is it's such a great title. It makes you want to say, what is that? What is she talking about in that, and you do want to kind of get an idea of your personality, right? This shy brown girl. Now you have another poem to share. Isn't that right?
I do have another poem.
Come on. We want some more poetry, baby. Bring that poetry on.
All right. This one is called Sisters Who Led the Way. It's your time. We are on our grind, so let's shine and blow their mind. Why hold back when they're trying to throw shade? Not good enough, self-esteem is in the grave. Hold your head high, no need to be afraid. Struggle was in the dues we paid. We are the right color. We are the right weight. As God gives us strength, we are now brave. The road ahead has been paved. Going the righteous way, we will trailblaze. When we now speak, our thoughts will amaze. Seeking true knowledge, ignorance replaced. We've been silenced. The truth is now on display. Paying homage to the sisters that led the way. Queen Latifah, Little Kim, Lauryn Hill, MC Light, Salt and Pepper, Yo-Yo, Moni Love, Missy Elliott, Left Eye, Foxy Brown, Eve. And that's that piece.
Wow. Go ahead, hip hop girls. And I think, you know, there's no mistake. Look at your own daughter. She's one of those hip hop girls. Like, she's a rapper herself.
Well,
right?
I would say growing up, my kids learned to like hip hop. I think when my oldest was a baby, she was sitting right there looking at it was the Arsenio Hall show, and she was a baby and she stayed up to watch Snoop Dogg perform. So they all, you know, have been influenced by my love of hip hop, and I've loved it since the 90s. And this is the three of them: Justice,
right.
Giovanna, and Josiah. And then the
them
picture
J's,
on the right.
Baby.
All
Those J's. Let's deal with them
J's.
kids real quick. How old were they there?
They were teenagers there. And that was, I think, at my sister's house. So they were teenagers.
Got you.
So they're all
I
grown
love that.
now.
Okay. That's right. They grown people now with books out and things happening and things. I love that you do things with your children. And that makes for really well-developed children, in my opinion, when they can share time with you and experiences with you. What is this image on the right? Because there are some more on that same day with your daughter, but go ahead and tell us what that is.
So this is Washington, D.C. My oldest daughter, she participated in the History Fair Day, and I think she did it for 3 years. She went to Springfield, and 1 year they actually went to nationals in Washington, D.C. So now she and I are judges. So this is in June, and this is as close as we could get to the White House. They have a whole fence around it and barricades. But
well, nobody want to go in there. Nobody want to go in there.
Not now.
Come on now, stop playing. Don't need no barricades for nothing.
Right,
they be breaking them down anyway. Get on out of here. So go ahead, and y'all did what now in terms of the day? And you said you're judges now. What are you judges of? Say that again. You were judges of.
So each year they have a theme, and you have middle school and high school students competing from different parts of the United States, and they come together for nationals, and they either do a poster, video, website, or they do a performance, and judges are selected for each group. And it's the three of you, and you sit together and you decide who's going to advance, and then there is a winner: first place, second place, third place. And I think it's a great way for students to learn about history. And this is the other picture. This is like University of Maryland. I'm sitting next to Kermit, you know, an image of him, and John.
We love Kermit.
Yeah, he's alumni of University of Maryland.
Gotcha.
And, he created the Muppets. And then this is a picture of my oldest daughter and me on the mall. This is where they had the March on Washington and the Million Man March. It is long.
Right.
It's huge.
Right.
I mean, people, it was so many tourists there. And it's so peaceful in D.C. I swear Chicago was protest, but in D.C., calm, peaceful, you know.
So they say. Look, they say.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
You know, Chicago,
one thing.
On that day. Because let me tell you something about Chicago. I find that there are activists everywhere. Like, for real. Like, even people that were in the civil rights movement, they live on the South Side, honey. You can Diane Nash and all kind of folks that you can find here. This is a city for movements, like organizations, movements. We were just talking about how Farrakhan got a mansion right over in the 40s in Kenwood. And, so you will find massive movements here. I want to say, here's a comment. My girl Zelda said, nice. Love the poetry. Greatness continues. I know that's right, girl. That's right. We love a good poet up in here big time. And so, man, I mean, this time we do have a little bit more time, but I want to get into just something that's up and coming that you talked about, and that is the Obama Center. You said you were going to do something with that, and I just want to know a little bit about that project and why. What's that about?
Okay, me and my oldest daughter, we went on a tour of the Obama Center. Of course, it's still being constructed. This is one of the buildings. Part of it has, it's going to be art from local artists. It's going to be words that Obama wrote. And he and Michelle have the idea of bridging the West and the South side, because these are the sides that have been marginalized and left behind, the Black and brown people forgotten. So it's their idea to have a workout room, a basketball court, restaurants, a bookstore, gift shop, a garden, just all inclusive of all Black people and all people that live in Chicago to come to the Obama Center. And this is Obama's famous picture that we saw at the Smithsonian. And so I decided to send you that. But, that picture is famous. We couldn't see Michelle's picture because she was currently on tour. And for some reason, her wing was off limits. And we were like, oh, no.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So you have a project, you have a children's book coming up with that.
Yes, I do have a children's book. It's about a little girl. Well, she goes to a school that's near the Obama Center, and she finds out that her favorite park, where she has summer camp all the time, is being closed, and it's going to be moved to the Obama Center, and her class gets to take a tour. And her little write-up about summer camp is going to be a part of the mural for the park. And so it's like a little third grader is inspirational for keeping a park alive. And
I see. Okay. All right. So that's the relevance of my man's library coming. Oh, you were a third grade teacher.
I was once a third grade teacher, so I imagine at that age, playgrounds are important, and to see
they are right,
like demolished.
But right, yeah, and that's deep, because with the coming of a lot of society here in Chicago neighborhoods, hey, even talk about erase our culture. Yes. They took down the projects, they did all that. Just
Cabrini
you see a lot of that. Yeah. The thing about it, though, how I feel about what they want to call regentrification or gentrification, the thing about that is you could gentrify your own neighborhood. It don't have to be people moving in to take nothing. You can go ahead and make your neighborhood anew by making your own projects, by getting your own muralists, by buying your own property. And so I would love us to start to think through that. You know what I'm saying? And be, like you said, be proactive instead of, whining about what does exist or doesn't exist. And, that doesn't have to be the case at all. And so I think you've just done such a wonderful job with, I almost want to say, you got more poetry? You got another poem you can read to us? Is there anything else that you'd love to share with us poetry-wise? I know you kind of blocked out those two, but I'd love to hear more. People, and this is what y'all should know. My girl is going to be at the Black History Book Fair. Don't get it twisted. I'm going to put the date right here. So the Soulful Chicago Black History Book Fair is going to be February 15th at Little Black Pearl, and Adrienne Plummer will be there with her book. Don't get it twisted. So, just very happy about that, and really happy about just having you here today, because people need to see what's in store. Now you about to get to know, you about to know the deal. You about to get the connection to the author. So do you have any other poem that you want to share?
Let's see. I think this one.
Go ahead, girl. We got a whole book. Come on.
Let me see. Okay. This one is for the Black child. It says, "You are beautiful. Young Black child, running free, running wild. Give your grandma a smile. She knows after a while you will grow up. So much to show you, so little time. 'Cause you will have grown up so fast, your childhood won't last. Know that your black skin is a prize, you see. It was given by God and is free. Know that no matter the shade of brown you are a precious star. No need to change. You don't need to do a thing. Grow to love your hair, whether kinky, curly, or wavy. Don't let others who are shady make fun of God's gift. Their words should shift to embrace difference. Black babies appreciate. Ignore the banter and hate. For your skin is one of a kind. It has melanin in great supply. Now hold your head in pride. Take everything in stride, and you will be all right. And that's that peace.
I like the way you say, and that's that piece after each poem, and that's that piece.
Yeah, that's what they say that. With the poet crew.
Look, and that could also be a play on words, like, and that's that piece. Because I always be like this every time I take a picture. So that's that piece thing. Yeah, so that's that piece, meaning, yep, that's the poem, but then that's that piece. That's what I'm bringing, that piece. Oh, I got a little poem in me too. Yeah, no doubt. So how long, I didn't even ask this question. When did you write this book? When did it come out?
Oh, it's been a couple of years in the making. I think it came out in April. April 2025.
So wow, it just came out.
Yeah.
Wow. So a couple of years in the making, but then coming out this year.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
So it's pretty new.
Yeah, they wanted 30 poems, consecutive poems, and I had to. Yeah, it took a minute. I was at the library a lot, typing, and Google Docs was my friend.
That was your friend, baby.
Yeah.
They save it, baby. You ain't got to tell me I use Google Sheets for that same reason. Like, this ain't going nowhere.
Right.
We don't have to worry about it. So I'm so happy that you did this. It's really important. Do me a favor. We have about 1 minute left. Give a word of wisdom, something that you want to say to the audience.
I would say we as a Black community need to take care of our own. We don't need to worry about a handout. We can collectively work together to rebuild our own communities. We have plumbers, electricians, painters, and like the youth, the teenagers that you see maybe gang banging, you don't like that. Teach them how to be plumbers and electricians and build up their hood. And then they should use their money to buy up the hood, like Jay-Z says, buy up the block, and then you own it. Now represent what you own. So
nice.
It's yes.
Let's do it. Let's do
it. Because the words are in the message is there. If you listen to not the nonsense, but the true poets.
Sure.
Yeah, like
no
Common
doubt.
And Kendrick and certain ones, J. Cole.
Yeah.
And Lauryn Hill.
Yeah, they got the message, girl.
Yes.
Nice. Well, thank you so much for coming on today, Adrienne. It's been a pleasure. I've enjoyed your poetry tremendously. Sister said here, she put, my girl's elder said, teach, sister, teach. That's right. Thank you. That's right. Thank you so much for being here. Y'all be ready to see Adrienne at the Soulful Chicago Black History Book Fair, February 15th. It's been real. It's been Gathering of the Griots.
Right.
We love you. And see you next Tuesday. Peace, everybody. All Bye-bye. Right. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
All right.
We've come to the end of our show today. If you missed any broadcasts, go to our website for the audio and video archives at www.thefemalesolution.com. On behalf of our team of radio hosts, I'd like to thank all of you who participated in today's discussions. And to our global family joining us from all around the world, we say thank you. To our family in China, xie xie. India, dhanyavad. Japan, arigato. Korea, kamsamnida. Russia, spasiba. Germany, danke. Poland, John Couillon. France, merci. Spain, gracias. Italy, grazie. Egypt, shukran. Ghana, madasi. Nigeria, eshe. South Africa, ngiabonga. Senegal, jareh. Kenya, asante. Israel, toda. Pakistan, shukriya. Afghanistan, tashakur. Saudi Arabia and Palestine, shukran. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Thank you, and may peace be upon you and the mercy of God and God's blessings.